one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Right. And have a roll call, please.
Copeland.
Here.
Martin. Here. Tony. Here. Holt.
Here.
Betts.
Here. And 5 present with Grady absent. Take a quick look at the agenda. Motion to approve.
Motion.
Motion by Debbie, seconded by Honey. All in favor say aye. Opposed? And abstain on approving the agenda. Yeah.
Okay.
You cool with approving the agenda?
Yeah.
Okay. We can go to the regular meeting minutes though. Regular meeting minutes of October 3rd, 2023. Is there a motion to approve those? Motion by Honey. Second by Martin. All in favor say aye. Abstained by and same with the executive session meeting minutes, October 3, 2023. Is there a motion to accept? Motion by Honey. Second by Martin. All in favor say aye. Opposed? And 2 abstains. All right, citizens participation. Is there anybody here this evening for citizens participation? I think so, but just wanted to be sure. Hearing none. Bills to be paid, as well as the addition to the bills to be paid. Is there a motion to pay the bills? Motion by Honey. Second by Mouse. All in favor say aye. Opposed? And that takes us to our comptroller Jennifer. I think she has some budget revisions to go over with us. So you'll see those included in your packets. So this would be for the period ending September 30th, 2023, is that correct? Or as of September 30th, 2023?
Yeah, we're going to start with the yearly transfers first.
Okay.
So, they're just 2 single sheets of paper. One of them is for the general fund transfers and then the pool of parks transfers out of the capital improvement tax. And then the general fund transfers are out of electric, water works, natural gas, and capital improvement tax. And these will be for 2023 and 2022.
I'm trying to find the sheet, I apologize.
Sorry, they can all look alike. It just says middle at the top.
I got it this morning in the packet. Single sheet and packet.
Single sheet, yeah.
One is ARPA, so this one is. Was the one that when we reprinted this, was it on the back of these? And then when we reprinted, did they not?
It might have been on the back. I'm sorry. It might be single sheet. On the back here.
Do you have yours? I think. Yeah, so we had to revise and reprint, and all I did those sheets didn't reprint with the whole packet. So I'll make sure I did not hand those out to you.
So you're going to just walk us through some of the budget revisions that we know we had some that pertain to some of the various projects and amending the budget to help fund projects and removing money from one to the other.
So in 2023, we had I'm requesting that you transfer from the transfer into the general fund $819,000, and out of the electric fund $140,000, out of the waterworks fund $210,000, out of the natural gas fund $117,000, and out of capital improvement $352,000.
For this current fiscal year?
Yes.
And that was an amendment from what we had originally planned on transferring?
Yeah.
That's not in addition to?
No.
Here, let me grab yours and make copies. We have to revise because of some dates, this whole budget revision thing. Those are on the back of it. And if you ever reprinted, just reprinted this part and not the whole, just back 2 pages.
Fair enough.
Can I take yours?
Please.
I'm sorry.
All right, thank you for that. Please approve the following budget revisions. And then we're looking at transfers in of $819,000 from the general fund. Is that correct?
Correct.
And then what are these other numbers for the individual utilities transferred
Yes.
out
Yes.
from retained earnings, I suppose?
No, end up going into your retained earnings.
Okay.
At the end of the last fiscal year.
And all of these transfers and amendments are to justify keeping the budget balances point, as well as some of the amendments that the council had asked for the last couple of sessions due to some of the projects.
So the, utility ones are based on your utility allocations, the capital improvements are. We have based on projects. Yeah, based on projects.
Okay. What do you need specifically from the council?
And approval to make these adjustments, to make these transfers.
Okay. Council, do you have any specific questions for Jennifer regarding any of this?
I do.
Mm-hmm.
Good job, dude.
Down here under general, the pool fund, 145,000, we transferring into the pool,
We're transferring into the pool from capital improvement tax.
what was that for?
Would have been whatever we, would have done for capital improvement tax last year on the budget, 2023 budget. Which is not as familiar as I am with 2024's.
I'm guessing the pool. So, just to clarify, this is year end, so what you would have got
Year end.
transferred as of June
Yeah,
2023, correct?
the park would have been, part of your mid-park RV project, the mid-park,
Understood. So this is like Lane, so this is for 2023 year-end transfers.
This is not.
This is not on our current fiscal year.
no, these are not current.
Okay.
No, this
So
is
all the
not for
work
fiscal
we
year
did,
23, this is backdating
all the work that we did.
all the work that you've done already.
Okay, understood. What do you got, Kev?
I just gotta ask a couple things. Since we're revising the budget, I don't see it here. Sidewalks. You got that in here?
Okay, we're not to that
We're
yet.
not to that yet.
We're not to that yet.
Let's finish up the year-end 2023 approval of the transfers, and then we'll talk about 2024.
Well, I would like to do something in 23, because it's still 23. I want to look at 24.
We're on fiscal year 2024 right now.
Okay.
This is
So-
fiscal year. Fiscal year 23 ended June 30th of 2023.
So here's what I
So
want.
fiscal year 24 is what we're doing right now.
Okay, so here's what I want to discuss. Maybe it's now, maybe it's later. Cody can tell me here. I think the police department is way underpaid, and we need to bring.
That's
in
not right
something
now.
We're gonna lose.
That's not right now.
Huh?
That's not right now.
Okay,
We're
okay.
talking about, we're approving things
That needs to be picked
in the
up.
for the past.
Okay. I'm good with that.
Is there a motion to approve the fiscal year ending 2023 transfers, in order to, balance your in for 2023 basically?
Yeah, 2022.
2022, 2023.
Motion.
Motion by Val, second by Tony. All in favor say aye. Opposed. So now what we have here, our bigger packet,
Oh, no, we have one more.
one more.
We
My
have
bad.
the street, allocation as well, which is 65% of their, personnel expense from the transportation trust tax. So that is $223,580.93 that we need to transfer from the transportation trust fund, tax to the streets.
Okay, so motion to transfer the necessary funds from the transportation trust fund to the street department.
Motion.
Motion by Honey, second by Bouse. All in favor say aye. Opposed? Done on that. Now, this bigger packet here, I know we've been approached to make some budget revisions, not including what Kevin may want to ask or add. Would you like to go over some of this, amendments you had to make to this point for fiscal year 2024?
Sure, so, I'm requesting revisions in the amount of $82,612 expenditures over revenues, adjusting our current budget to the ends with a minus $210,792. This is a balanced budget by utilizing our prior retained earnings. I examined all the accounts that are already over budget and anything that was over the 25% year-to-date expended, I made adjustments where needed. Those are highlighted on the report for you. I have given you a brief summary on the first page before the report actually begins of all the revenue and expenditure changes.
Okay, and it looks like, council, you can see right on the front page, some of those expenditures are for repairs to our police station, uniforms, phone expenses, repair and fuel for property management department, increased salary for a building inspector, increased overtime for grounds, electric, water, street, and pool, the backhoe that we had to purchase, removal of dump truck, or that might have been the, we ended up buying a truck and trailer instead of a backhoe, right?
So I'd like to explain that one, as it was requested that the backhoe be brought back in by the waterworks department, and we removed the dump truck and left the trailer in since that was already purchased. So that you can see that addition and removal.
So not purchasing the dump truck at this time.
No, because it said that the dump truck cannot be purchased for 2 years. It's not like it's totally out of the picture, so if they do come across a dump truck within this fiscal year, they still can bring it to the finance office, and then we can go over the fiscal numbers, and then if something does work out fiscally, then we can bring it before council and make the adjustment.
Okay, and then Kevin, the last one listed there, I think you were questioning was the budget for sidewalks, so it does look like there was an adjusted expenditure for sidewalks to be added to this budget. So that is included. Any questions, council, about those items that are stated for those adjusted expenditures? Yes, please.
Because I know sometimes going through there, have our telephone rates gone up because almost every department's over on the telephone usage? Is that
So a lot of
That's a
departments
flyer
had
problem.
adjusted telephones because of the reimbursement for telephones.
okay?
And then maybe we just didn't account, I'm not sure why, but we didn't account maybe properly for it, but if it was over that 25% mark and I looked at it and didn't feel like it was gonna make it to the end of the year, I went ahead and adjusted it slightly.
And my other question is, I'm going to assume that this is a yes. This information is disseminated to each and every department, and they know, like, they can see how much over they are on overtime or how much over they are on contracted labor, so that they're more aware of where they're at in their budget.
We will, after today, it will be given out, now that we have a better report.
And to piggyback off of that, council, so it's not lost on you guys, increase overtime for grounds, electric, water, street, pool, etc. We're well beyond our budgeted overtime expenses, and it's October 17th. So it's something that we are going to have to keep in mind. We can amend our budget, but that money has to come from somewhere. It doesn't just get created out of thin air. We got a long way to go until we finish this fiscal year, and our overtime is becoming a concern. So we're going to have to address that in one way, shape, or form. But just keep that in mind because it is stated here that we're already having to make adjustments for overtime costs. Anything else? Any questions about any of these other expenditures, council?
I do. I'm still on top of the police department.
Okay.
I believe that we're gonna lose a lot of good police officers. These days, the police department we can't even get an application hardly. Doug, come on out here and help me out here about the applications we're getting, we're not getting, we're being underpaid. How many applications have we got here? Come up here and help me out.
So we've got one applicant since we put the ad in. And that's, nobody else is even expressing interest. All surrounding that agencies are starting at 48 to 52. So they're going to go there where they're going to go there where they're.
That's not true.
Okay, but we don't need to pay.
Who's, what, 48 to 52?
Yeah, I don't have the exact numbers.
Do we have any municipalities, examples of starting pay, other municipalities around here?
Still, you got it in your, you know,
I might, I just asking. Is that the starting hourly pay, with
yeah,
15.90?
Yeah.
You have like 3/4 of the pay. Oh, I see where you're at.
part of the problem is, we're advertising for entry level, and we're looking for somebody with experience.
I'm looking for anybody. We have never, and we haven't paid for experience, otherwise we'd be paying a lot of our officers a lot more. When they started out at 40. We didn't advertise for experience. I'll take somebody out there out of the academy, but they're going into the way the economy is now, they're going where the money's at.
Yeah, the guy you told me went to Steelville for whatever it was, 48 or 52. Still, the city clerk says that is not true.
He's the one that said that's what he's making.
Well, the lady that makes his checkout said no, he's not. So I don't know what to say, but we are on par pretty much with everybody around, with the exception of if you have an officer that wants to move here and he's got 5 years experience, we're not paying for experience. We're wanting to start him out as a beginning police officer, and I can understand why we're not getting any applications.
Right, because we've never advertised for experience.
I called several police, communities, counties, whatever, too. And we're not the highest, we're definitely not the lowest. We're in there. The ones that pay exceptionally high, they're actually, one of them, I can't remember who it was, the city really doesn't pay that much to the police officers, but they have a law enforcement tax, which kicks in and picks up, you know, the rest of it, which Crawford County does not have. And we're already pretty taxed to death in the city of Cuba, so I'm not sure that's a viable option. You know, we're not seeing people leave here, law enforcement officers leaving here and going someplace else to be a law enforcement officer. They're going someplace else to make more money, but it's not in law enforcement.
Yeah, we can't compete with all this, you know, the $80,000 a year job that some of these guys are going out to get. I don't know what the fix is.
Where have we ran our advertisements at this far for this most recent hiring? Do you know, Doug? Where have we ran our most recent help wanted ad?
Oh yeah, the time was up.
I know, where did we run it all? Where all was it published?
Social media, and paper.
Social media, newspaper. So maybe we should expand that to Indeed or some hiring websites, rather than Cuba Free Press or the
Was that one?
Facebook.
Yeah, that was your pick.
When did that close? Last Friday, Doug, or Friday prior? You had one application?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we don't have a recommendation to fill that position at this time.
Nope.
Okay. Council, what are your thoughts here?
Where is the Sheriff's Academy being held?
All over the state.
All over the state?
Various locations.
Can we not advertise it here? I mean, I don't think Crawford County's got enough police officers that aren't doing anything to trade. All we're doing is trading with Steelville and Bourbon and all
We
that.
haven't taken any from Stillville or Sheriff Department in a few years.
Yeah, if they're taking from us. That's what I'm saying, all we're doing is trading with each other. We need to advertise outside the loop.
Can we run the ad again and expand the geographical location?
Yeah, the social media on Facebook, it's been updated. It gets out there, it reaches people. It's not a changing thing. I don't even know when the academy's running right now.
Well, I'm just saying, for like, if somebody's interested in a job,
Union.
if they're interested in a job, they may not go to Cuba, Missouri Facebook, look for a job. They might go to Indeed and type in police officer and see what pops up throughout the state of Missouri. Can we do something like that to see if it helps? Or do you think that wouldn't be any help?
I just know a lot of police officers
So you advertise the
on their own
experience.
Facebook page.
Well, that would still require a budget revision, but that would be a lot easier than adjusting all salaries, just one salary, and maybe up the starting pay on the open position. Somebody who has experience, and instead of 40,000, it could be 45 or whatever. still gonna require a revision on your end, but that would be a lot less of a revision at this time, just to do it for one salary to try to get this whole bill. So that's definitely an option we can explore if we're not having any luck, is say, well, let's try to advertise a non-entry level position, somebody that can come in with 5 years or whatever, however that would work, and up that pay a little bit.
The problem lies is that you don't have a salary schedule right now. It was voted out at the budget time last year, and you have no salary schedule, so nothing for any department to go by. No, nothing was done official in ordinance form. So technically, the prior, salary schedule that was voted in, even though it was, you voted on it prior with motion to end that salary schedule at the end of the budget starting for this fiscal year. So nothing's been done in ordinance form. There's really no guideline for us to really go by. So we kind of need some guidelines. Either we're gonna stick with the old salary schedule that's in ordinance form and was voted in, or we need to come up with a new one and pass it via ordinance.
Can we have a police committee meeting and have a recommendation brought to this council? I think that'd probably be the best
It's
approach.
not just for the police, it's for the whole city.
Well, I know, but in this specific case, they could at least have these conversations through committee rather than right here.
That's true.
Take time to get with you or do whatever research is needed for salaries, and then maybe make a recommendation to the council on how the committee would like to proceed with this open position. I mean, I think we need to just kind of take it back to the drawing board. Yes, sir.
Mr. Mayor, I talked to Jennifer last week about that too, and we do need to get something in stone, for everybody as well.
Right.
I mean, I talked to her, she said, we ain't done nothing yet, first getting that in.
Right.
So we need to do that.
It won't do any good if we do like we did last time though. We haven't spent a lot of money to get one.
Yep.
And there was in concrete, in stone, in ordinance, guidelines. And then, well, I think they need more money, so we started.
Well, and again, I think.
And then this would need more money, so we threw some more in
Agree.
there.
If our
Yes,
immediate
yes.
need is a police officer, we've already got the property management guy hired, and we've already got the street guy hired. If our immediate need is filling this police officer role, $40,000 entry level is not cutting it, then maybe we need to have the committee bring us an idea. And I agree, Debbie, between now and the next salary schedule and budget, something's gotta be made, something's gotta be
We need to
created.
quit messing with it. This is what we pay. I'm sorry, this is what we pay.
And this is how the raises will be given per year.
Which brings me to another one of these items on here, Curtis. We've got on this new revision, a raise for one of our other employees to something like $5 an hour, which is a 13% raise.
I just like to say that I want the citizens of Cuba to know this, okay? We're having a very hard time finding police officers for the safety of their self. We need to do something just like the electric. We brought the electric up, now we have brought the police department. We must bring our police officers up to our safety of our citizens.
Yes, I think there needs to be a police committee meeting and a recommendation brought to this council. Absolutely.
I'd like to make a motion that we create an Indeed account sometime. I don't know who, what, when. I know she's.
We do have a secretary at the police station that should be able to solicit help on ads on social media and Indeed and Monster and all of that. If that person, that would be part of their job, in my opinion.
Okay.
Doug, can you have her do that, please? Can she not do that? Your secretary?
I don't know how well versed she is in social media.
In just like Indeed?
I don't know what it is.
Okay.
It's a nationwide one ad.
Is there anybody from your office, Lenny, that could maybe assist with setting up an Indeed account?
I'm sure we can do it.
Okay, thank you for that.
We could use it for way more than police.
Police committee meeting, please hold a meeting with Doug and bring this council a recommendation on how you would like to proceed so we can get this, position filled. As well as maybe have a conversation about the ability of our secretary and if she needs any training on computers or running help wanted ads, because that's pretty basic and we need to make sure that she can do stuff like that. In my opinion, yes, sir.
Do we have, it's going to the police committee, do we have a set time on this, a deadline when they can bring it to us? I'd like to get this.
I'd like to have a motion or of some sort of recommendation at the next council meeting.
Yeah, next meeting.
So make sure the, police committee meeting is posted 24 hours in advance, and just like any other meeting, but yeah, bring something to the council so we can move. And in the meantime, maybe posting it out on some more help wanted or hiring websites might help.
Set up a time now.
Yeah, anytime after 4.
After 4. Doug, what's good for you?
This week,
This week? This week, like?
anytime during the day, we're.
Oh, we got 24 hours posted, just keep that in mind.
How about Friday?
Deal with Friday evening,
Friday at 4:30?
I can go over it.
That good with you, Jeff? Yep. You can post that Thursday? Thank you.
Awesome.
Friday the 20th?
All right, that'll be good. That way we can get some sort of recommendation to hopefully put into motion and move on, and help us with our current situation with our police officer. So we talked about that. We talked about the budget for sidewalks. Debbie, you mentioned a question about the increased salary for the building inspector.
Yeah, is that something that, don't we need, if we're gonna increase somebody's pay, don't we need to vote on that? Or
We,
discuss that
yes,
or something?
we probably should. What is the reasoning for that? I have not been briefed on this.
I don't know, it's just there.
Kevin?
I was talking to Bobby about it, and he said, oh, it takes $5 an hour, but it's only like $40 a week more. And I go, well, you can't beat this, Bob, you know. he's
For
got-
what?
He's got a lot of time investment stuff, and he says it's only $40 a week more. He only works 8 hours a day. See, so it's only $40, he said. I said, well, what would you like to have, Bob? You know, he says, I'll be fair, $5 an hour. So I said, I'd bring it to the board, because you're not gonna find nobody for that.
Who did this job before?
He's been doing it for a couple of years. We just had budgets and salaries. I don't know if he got an increase at this year, did he? Did we determine if he did or did not? He accepted the position with the salary that was presented July 1, 2023. So I didn't know if there was any particular reason for the increase or just because.
He's taking on extra duty. He wasn't doing that. He's only doing building inspection.
We've got him doing more stuff now though, don't he? Isn't he?
What's he doing?
What more?
He's issuing, building permits.
He's been doing that.
He was doing that already.
That's what I think.
He was doing that already.
Okay, I didn't know that. I thought what we kept him on for was inspections.
I'm pretty sure he's been doing that since he's.
For a couple of years. Really since he retired.
He can tell us you don't want to do it. We can do it ourselves. We don't know what we're doing.
We don't have anybody.
I say give him the $5 an hour.
Did he present this to you, or, cause he hasn't mentioned anything to me about it, that's.
I asked Bobby about that. He said, Bob, are we treating you fairly? I said, yeah. He said, no, Kevin, a couple more on. He said, you know, it's just $5 more an hour. Now, what are we griping about? It's what? $40 a week. I'll give it to him, because I don't want to do the job. If you guys want to do the job, that's fine with me.
What is the job? That's what I'm trying to figure
Now,
out.
what's the job that we're doing before you got, what's he doing? Was he doing more?
He's doing floodplains and everything.
So how many hours a week does he really spend doing floodplain stuff?
I don't know, but he can give you the job that you find out. It's going to take a lot of time.
I might take it.
Was, Rodney, were you seated as the floodplain administrator for any time?
I was a short period of time, but I wasn't getting
Did you
anything.
receive any additional compensation for that?
I did not.
Craig Baus was also our floodplain administrator, and I don't believe he received any additional
I
compensation.
don't, I can't, I'm not really for sure how that, but I did not.
How many hours a week did you spend on floodplain?
I'm gonna be honest with you, very much. I mean, there was
How many
something,
hours a month then? Can it go to a month? A year?
it wasn't much. Honestly, there was just a few emails that were sent. I didn't have any login information to anything at all at that time.
So it's more of a tie-up.
Needed basis.
Pretty much,
Pretty much.
but the floodplain manager, I mean, it really involves more of engineering and building situations like Bob is. And
Yeah, but in the job, just to make sure nobody builds in a floodplain.
well, there are certain areas that you can, but he would have to determine that, which areas that they can. But it's a very small area, geographical area that you can do that within the city itself. Very small. But I did not do quite a lot with that.
Yeah, and again, don't kill the messenger here. Bob hasn't mentioned anything to me. This is the first I've seen it, so I didn't even know what it was for or why.
I would suggest that we consider when salaries are done next year, you know, have a report from him on what he does and take that under advisement when we do salaries again. Because we could go to any employee in the city and say, you know, it seems to me like you're working on, what would make you happy? Would you take that, Lane, would you take another $5 an hour? Would that make you happy? Okay. So, I mean, we just can't go around offering people money just because. I'd like to know what we can expect for the money.
Well, we have a grouping of expenditures that are wrapped up into these budget revisions. I'll give the council, if anybody's interested, to make a motion to add or remove anything to this list that we see presented right in front of you. A motion from anybody to make an addition or a removal.
In accepting this, do we automatically accept those?
That's why I was saying, well, let's give the council an opportunity for any addition or deletions of any of these line items.
Okay. I make a motion to remove the increased salary for building inspector.
Okay, motion by Martin for the removal of the increased salary for building inspector. Is there a second to that? Second. Second by Holt. Okay, full council please.
Bass.
No.
Holt.
Yes.
Connie.
Yes.
Martin.
Yes.
Cody.
No.
Okay, motion moves 3-2 to go ahead and remove the added salary at this point in time. Yes, sir.
I got a question. Bobby says he's not doing it. All right, he's not doing it.
Uh-huh.
What are we doing? Who's doing it? We better have a plan.
Well, I guess if he wants to quit his job, we'll cross that bridge. You know.
You know? I mean,
Again, did he approach you and say, Kevin, I need
we were
more
just
money?
talking about it, and he said, Kevin, I ain't putting a little more time in. I said, well, you know what? Any other time, anybody else takes more responsibility on, we've always done that.
Except for Ryder, he took it.
Give him a little bit.
Rodney didn't get anything extra.
Hold on, Curtis, hold on, you know what we're talking about. Okay, he doesn't. He has no idea what a floodplain does. Tell me what a floodplain manager does.
Hey, I want to love Rodney and what you're saying.
If I asked Rodney, is $40 a week too much for Bobby, he'd probably say no.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not Bob, and I'm not going to step in myself with somebody who anything. I mean, I think I'm going to go in an area with another employee that I don't think I need to go anywhere. And I think I've kind of said too much as it is.
I just don't like the idea that you didn't get paid when you was doing it, and then somebody else is doing it, and they're
Well-
gonna get paid because you didn't get paid. I don't think that was fair.
For doing the floodplain stuff.
Well, I know if I'm Bobby, I wouldn't do it. That wasn't on his job at this time when we hired him. He was just building inspector. I want to give him to Curtis if Bobby don't want it.
I guarantee you, because you said.
Oh, no, I know what's going to assist them. You're going to have to make sure they don't build in flood zones and everything else. I'll just be liable for this.
Here's my.
All right, well, let's move on from this conversation. Is there anything else we need to add or delete from these lines in regard to these budget revisions?
I want to add something for my no votes.
Okay.
If you all said that Bob, we gave straight across the board raises for part-time employees, and Bob didn't get it last year when we did the raises for budget time, then we should have given it to Bob too. He's a part-time employee, but the other. That was my reason I voted no. I didn't realize that Bob wasn't included in that.
But Rodney, did you get a raise across the board?
I did not.
We voted straight across the board, Kurt.
But not for part-time,
Yes, we did.
or not seasonal part-time. Rodney, you did not get an increase on this
No.
budget.
So he should have. But anyway, that's all. We can move on.
Okay, we need to go ahead and get these revisions passed, though, in the group that we have in front of us this. Is there a motion to pass these budget revisions and transfers?
Motion.
Motion by Honey, second by Martin. All in favor say aye. Opposed?
I'm gonna oppose it.
Okay.
Bob's not in, I'm opposed.
1, 2, 3 ayes.
I'm not gonna post it either, but we're not giving about three.
Okay, so 3 ayes, 2 nays.
So,
Set
so we're
two.
clear, it's the approval without Bob's increase, correct?
That is correct. To approve the budget revisions and transfers in with the removal of the overtime for the building inspector, there was a motion by, sorry, who made the
Motion
motion?
by Tony, second by Martin,
Okay,
to pass the budget revision without the building inspector.
okay, and then all in favor say aye, was 2 ayes by Martin and Honey
And Holmes.
and Holt, and then 2 nays by Copeland and Bass, is that correct?
That's what I have.
Okay, so we're clear on the record and we move on for that. Okay, very good. ARPA projects, what do we have on it?
So, in light of what you have in front of you, information came to me after it was printed, so what you have in front of you for ARPA was that according to MRPC, we have $293,145.39 left to obligate before 2024. So, my recommendation, unless you guys have something different, would be to use use the funds on the following projects. The North Industrial Water Loop Project. I have airport hangar, but it's the airport fuel tanks. I apologize for that. So project number 1, the estimated costs are $195,000, not $175,000. And that would be for construction and Blunt's private drive edition if approved tonight with, Cameron Goodson talking to you. Project number 2, estimated costs are around $88,500. So that leaves us with around $9,645.39 left to obligate. We'll still have some admin fees billed by MRPC each month. Again, I won't know what those are until they bill them to me, but we'll still be able to recoup those costs of admin fees. We can monitor and still have some more and come back and say, what do you want to do with the rest of this? Do you want to do something different? But this gets the majority of that obligated. And as we get closer to 2024, unless you guys have something different you would like to do.
I'm all for it. I think it's money well spent. It's nice to see a plan. I think it makes sense. The numbers all add up really nice and easy and clean and clear. And if you're looking for a motion from this council to approve these 2 projects, we can turn that over for questioning and potential motion. But yeah, it's money that we have to spend, fortunately, and I think we have a few good projects in mind to spend it on. And that's really all I need to hear. Council, questions?
You need a motion, I make a motion to approve it.
Okay, motion by Copeland to approve these ARPA funds for the estimated, or project number 1 and project number 2. Second by Holt. Any further questions, council? We know that these meet all the criteria and we can get the plans in place for the funds to be
North
approved.
Industrial Water Loop is, complete without the addition to the blood pressure.
With the exception of a few cleanup items and asphalt paving and a few other things, which I'll talk about here just a little bit.
And then the airport hangar project we bid.
Fuel tank.
Fuel tank is bid, correct, and they're working on that now. So the projects are going and ready, they're ready to be obligated, so yeah, I think they'll be fine.
Very good. And on the fuel tank project, did we set aside other monies to complete that would now be freed up from the airport fund? Or is this just in addition to?
No, I think this is.
Fair enough. We have a motion by Copeland and a second by, I'm sorry, was that Holt, to go ahead and approve these two projects with the remaining ARPA funds. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Very good. Thank you, council. All right. Thank you, Jennifer. That brings us to Mr. Swice, Archer Engineering. Come on up, sir. You have some updates for us, I suppose?
I do. So Glenn couldn't be here this evening, so y'all are stuck with me for a minute. I'll try to go through this here pretty quickly. So a few updates Glenn asked me to share. The North Industrial Park Water Loop, which got under construction late this summer, is nearing completion. The line's been put in service, and even some of the topsoil and seed and mulch and things that has been done. There might be some touch up to do with that work in the spring if we continue to have a dry fall. But for the most part, the work's done with the exception of the asphalt patching on the east side of the project and the industrial park that needs completed. So that should be done in the next few weeks, pending any weather or the asphalt plant shutting down before they can get that part done. But that project moved moved along very well. So that started out as about $121,000 construction project. That was for the installation through Magi. They did have one change order request that we would need to process. We added an additional 8-inch valve, at Glenn's suggestion. We also added some restrained fittings for the creek crossings, just kind of as an insurance policy where we crossed under the low spots on the project. So that brought the total construction cost up from about $121,000 to just shy of $123,000. So really overall felt like that project went well in the field. Any questions on that project, or kind of where
Will you be presenting us with an official change order that we need to approve?
I will. So with that, we've been talking for several years since we issued the water engineering report. There was a section of water main that's kind of identified by the water department as a priority along Blunt's private drive. Since the North Industrial Park Water Loop project came in under budget from the construction dollars that we had allocated, we actually put out a drawing package for pricing to Magi to price potential change order work to install that water main along Blunt's private drive. So what we're proposing tonight would be to have permission to negotiate or finalize a change order with Magi to complete that work. That work priced out at just under $36,000. The exact figure is $35,861. We went back and compared that to the unit prices in Magi's contract on the North Industrial Park project and also the other bid results we got for that project. And that $36,000 number is slightly higher per unit than their original bid. It's still less actually than the other bids we received for the project. So I feel like it's a cost-effective way to do it. It required very little engineering. In order to kind of lump it into that contract, they would fall under all the same contract conditions. We just granted the time extension and issued a change order for those additional quantities on Blunt's private drive. So that work added up to about a little over $35,000. Glenn also solicited bids. We put a material takeoff together. We also solicited bids for materials, which you received today. We received 3 bids from the low bid of Schulte at $24,475. All the way up to just a little over $30,000. So his recommendation and mine as well would be, if you all are on board with that project, would be to allow us to purchase materials from Schulte for the project. I will say we're estimated quantities at this point. We should be very close, but I think if you were to approve us moving forward here from a material purchase standpoint, we'd probably ask that you approve material purchases from Schulte maybe up to $30,000. We do have a quote for about $25,000 for the materials we know we need, but in case there's another valve or another hydrant we want to purchase, if we could get approval to spend up to $30,000 material for that section, I think that gives Glenn enough flexibility to go out there and get it done.
Okay.
How far is that Blunt's private drive?
How many feet? You're looking at about 340 plus 175, so a little over 500 175 feet to make that connection to the existing main, so a little over 500 feet. Some of that is in the road, so it's a little more expensive. We got some pulled up granular backfill and some patching to do there, but roughly 515 feet.
So we'll go ahead and make a motion to accept the Schulte supply for up to $30,000 for.
Well, let's break it down into two things. First, can we get a motion to approve the change order to include Blunt's private drive project?
Motion.
Okay, motion by Baus, second by Holt. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Now with the project being approved, we do have three supply bids. Schulte Supply for $24,475.26. Carry Cooper Supply for $28,888.70. Core & Main for $30,661.55. And you heard it from our engineer that his recommendation is to approve the Schulte Supply bid with maybe, and Lance helped me through this one, the permission to spend up to $30,000 if there's any expenses needed over the $24,475.26. Fair enough?
Second.
Motion by Baus, seconded by Honey. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? So that should knock out two of those for you.
Yep, thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
I'm glad it's going to work out. I mean, it's money that we're going to spend
Yeah.
anyway, and we can knock out a whole other project while we're at it.
And it's one of those shelf-ready projects, you know,
Yeah.
we'll continue to try to look for those
Appreciate
opportunities.
you looking out for us and bringing it to us.
Lovely. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
That takes care of line item number 8 as well, correct? All right, Blue Pit Pole Agreement, table that for this evening. We still have nothing to move forward on with that at this point in time. And I'll give the council an opportunity to add or discuss anything that they may have at this point in time on the electronic communication policy. However, City Hall is going to call a committee meeting in the very near future to provide their committee some examples of what this might look like, and maybe then there can just be a recommendation of some examples to bring to the council. So expect that in the near future. But do you have any other questions or comments to add to that at this time?
So table it until we get.
Wait till we get something presented. Agreed? Hearing none. That takes us to our Hood Park Lake cleanout bids. So we did solicit bids for the cleanout of the Hood Park Lake, and I'm curious to see what these say. Because we don't really know exactly what we may have in these bids. But we do have two. We ran an ad for a couple weeks in the paper, correct? Just
They were due the 13th.
soliciting bids to help us get that lake clean.
And I want to thank you, Jerry, for helping me.
Thanks,
You
Jerry.
tried to answer a bunch of questions I had no idea.
Like I said, who knows what we have in here?
So,
First one we have is from PJ Myers. PJ Myers says, the bid details and specifications were vague. In lieu of this, I gave multiple options for the city of Cuba for the Park Lake job. So here is excavate around the perimeter of the lake, cleaning the muck and vegetation out as far as safe for his machinery. The excavator would have a 20-foot reach. Inside bank slope to be a 1-to-1 slope to help prevent further weed growth. And for this job, the price would be $5,300. Now, in addition to, has a line item 1A, which would be set all debris on site where it has been excavated without any hauling. In order to do that would be an additional $1,000. The next added item would be to load the debris into PJ Myers trucks and haul it off site, which would be an additional, $6,000 plus line item 1. So I think what he's trying to do with that is, let me read the next one. Leave as much material on site as allowed behind the dam. Any extra material to be hauled off site by PJ Myers, line item 1C price $4,000.
We were gonna use that material to do backfill over there on the, northeast sides.
Okay. Line item 2. Excavate around perimeter of lake, cleaning muck and vegetation out as far as safe for the machinery. Excavator with a 20-foot reach. Inside bank slope to be a 1-to-1 slope to help prevent weed growth. Load all material on city dump trucks. City Cuba to haul off. $8,000 for that job. So we provided with a couple different options there. Let me read this other bid and then we can compare. So it looks like mainly do all the work and leave it there, $5,300. Do all the work, load it up into our trucks, have our guys haul it off, $8,000.
At least that's.
Right. This bid is from, Merrimack Excavating LLC. Okay, so this bid is broken down as follows. Number 1, call Missouri 1 call for locates. Mobilize equipment. Install a siphon system to lower the water down about 10 foot to expose silt to dry. We are hoping to have enough water for fish to live in the deep spot along the dam. Once the pond is drained low enough and the exposed silt material is dried enough not to leak water out, go ahead and start removing silt. Excavate and remove silt and load trucks and haul it off the site. We estimate best to our measuring from Google Maps that the area in red is the most silt that needs to be removed. We estimate around 3,000 yards of material. We will dig down to solid ground under the silt. Average from past experience is anywhere from 1 foot to 2 foot deep of silt. Haul the silt off to the dump site. After silt is removed, excavate around edges to get a 2 to 3 foot drop to help prevent future growth. Clean up on inside of the dam while it is drained by removing cattails and any other vegetation. Clean up and seed straw all disturbed edges. Sweep and clean up any muddy areas along the park as we haul. Notes, permits and fees by others. Rock excavation, if needed, will be an additional cost. He did provide a map that shows the area that he feels contains the most silt, as stated in the description prior. The total cost for Merrimack Excavating is $63,811. So we do have 2 bids that I think the scope of work is relatively the same. PJ Myers broke his down into completing the scope of work with or without pulling off the debris. I do not remember how much we budgeted for this project.
It wasn't that $63,000.
Okay. But with PJ, we can get it for $53,000 if our guys do all the cleanup and haul off. Excuse me, $5,300 if our guys do all the cleanup and haul off, or $8,000 if our guys, or excuse me, he loads our trucks. Let me make sure one more time. This wasn't $6,300. It is not. 63,811.00.
Sorry, 15,000.
We budgeted 15,000. Right?
I make a motion to give the bid to PJ and
Use our number.
work with him on it. However, the street department and him want to work together on it.
So that would probably be Jeff, line number 2 at $8,000, which would be excavate around perimeter of lake, cleaning muck and vegetation out as far as safe for equipment. Inside bank slope to be a 1-to-1 slope to help prevent weed growth. Load all material on City Cuba dump trucks. City of Cuba to haul the dump.
He said he wanted over there for fill, right?
Yeah.
Take some there and some to the dump or wherever it needs to go, but he'll load it into our trucks. Yes, sir.
We might want to check if we can use that for fill.
Okay.
Bill talked about that. That's not really dirt, it's silt,
Okay.
so it may never dry, I think Bill's concerned about.
Didn't we do silt out at the airport project though? It worked out pretty good.
Well, I don't know. Wait, for what?
So when they were doing that expanded pad out there.
I have no idea.
Well, if there's any used usable, we'll use it, if not, we'll hold off. I mean,
Either way,
yeah, either way.
the street department can work with him, and it'll either be $8,000 or it'll be less.
Yeah, just let PJ get it off at 8,500. You don't want to get that smell that's got in the park.
Alright, so motion to approve line item number 2, price of $8,000 by House. Second by Holt.
Who's gonna haul it off though?
That would be the city of Cuba dump trucks hauling it off.
City of Cuba?
He would load it into our trucks, we go dump it.
That's if Bill has the time to take his trucks away.
Okay, so let me give you the rundown on what it would be if the city of Cuba is not involved. It would be $5,300 for the scope of work, and then it would be load debris in PJ Myers trucks and haul off site would be an additional $6,000, so the total would be $11,300 if you go that route. 11,000.
And we're still under budget.
We would still be under budget, but if we can use our trucks, we can save $6,000.
Well, either way, we give it to Pat and let Bill and Pat work it out.
Well, we need to approve one. We need to approve
I
which
think
way
we're
we're
gonna have
going.
to have a contract.
Yeah, we need to approve which way we're going, council. You want our trucks involved, or do you not want our trucks involved? That's
I
basically.
think our street department guys got a lot to do.
Okay.
I think we're gonna bid it out, just bid it and get it over, let Pat Myers do it all.
They are doing a
That
lot of
sneaking
work.
stuff, oh my God, they don't wanna mess with it.
Okay, so in that case, we would need, I don't know if there's a motion on the table that might need to be pulled back.
I didn't really make one.
I had it as
Okay.
Bass and then second by Holt.
Yeah.
And that was for,
Line number 2, and then it would be like $8,000 and it would load into our Cuba trucks.
okay, so are you wanting to pull that back?
That and do 11,000, let Pat.
Sounds like they want to rescind their motions. Entering a new motion
Motion to do it for the 11,000.
to accept the line item 1 with the addition of line item 1B for a total of $11,300. Motion by Baus, second by Holt. All in favor say aye. Opposed? Okay, project is approved. And they'll haul everything off. Sorry. And hopefully that will be good. I'd like to see that non-usable, you know. Well, we need to learn how to keep it clean, you know, and I'm no expert.
It's been a long coming.
Yeah, I agree. I do not believe there were any Park and Recreation Board recommendations at this time. I do believe the recommendation that they had was included in the previous budget revisions, and that was just to reallocate some of their funds from the Safety City project to the sports complex in Hood Park to fix some of the equipment there, which has already been approved. So I don't think there was anything else to add to that. Is that correct, Mr. Honey?
I wouldn't have anything but make that
Okay.
meeting.
Please, Chief.
Don't have much except for nuisance to talk about. So from Cameron, he's issued letters to 93 East Washington and 613 School Street for their issues that they have there. He didn't state what they were. He's got complaint on the duplexes across from Wagon Mill and Hopick. So he's working on
What was the
the
matter?
clutter over there.
What was the matter then?
Clutter.
The Ravens?
Huh?
The Ravens or the Wagons?
Across from Hopick. That little.
It's like a fun going yard sale.
Yard sale.
Yeah.
Yeah. 905 school, unlicensed vehicles, work with that. Still trying to find the owner of the vehicle on Ridge Drive. Can't find that one. And I think that's all it's been able to figure out. 602 Oak Street is returning any calls and trying to make contact with them. Returning any calls to me.
How is the Vine Street going? No parking.
Well, we're still waiting for signs.
Oh,
So they're still parking there for mailboxes and stuff like that.
understood.
Even though there's previous signs that are still there, saying no parking, it's not what the ordinance is, they still park there.
So as soon as we get some sign up, you can start writing tickets.
As soon as we start signs up, we can start
Very good.
Have we made the school aware so that they can make the kids aware? Do you know if that's
Yes,
been done?
the SROs would send out an email to all the school officials and things like that, and I believe they sent something out to the students, but nothing's changed yet. You know how they are.
Okay, anything for Doug at this point in time? Thank you, sir. Old unfinished new business, Kevin.
Nothing.
Ms. Debbie.
You have a couple things. The fuel tank at the airport is on track. It's been removed. It's a little bigger project than what the city could handle, so they did have to get Chris to completely pull it out of the ground. The new one should be here the first of next month. And right now we're just waiting on the specs for concrete work layout, so they can get that done. Grant application, which apparently is done on a regular basis, and we just never get approved for it, has been submitted. And at some point in time, whether we are approved for the grant or not, if we're going to continue submitting it every year, we need some engineered plans completed for that. So I'm not really sure what the process for getting that done. I talked to Cameron, and the airport stuff's a little bit different, so you might have to get us in touch with people that actually are up on the game on doing that. And also our consultant firm, Hanson, our contract with them expires very soon, a couple weeks or something. So we're going to need to reach out so we can get some on that as a consulting firm. It's not that Hanson won't continue doing it, but we have to put it out there. So, and so on another note, I feel like I need to make a public apology to Jeff for a remark that I made, and I know he posted his response on Facebook. I'm not good with doing that kind of stuff on Facebook, but it was a poor choice of words on my part. Apparently some of our employees were moved to the Metco building without anybody else in town knowing about that. And when I went over there and said, "Who told you to do this?" they said, "Jeff did," and I made the remark, "He needs his head examined," which I thought was a cliche, and I'm sorry that you took it more personally. It's not that I object to workers being over there, I object to the manner that it was done. And I really feel like, Jeff and Kevin particularly have been on council much longer than the three of us. And it's my understanding as a council member that we have no authority outside this room. And I think it puts the employees in a precarious position when we as an individual go tell them to do something that we have not really been graced with the authority to do that. And in moving the pre-treatment out over here, we did discuss that at council meeting, but we never discussed moving pre-treatment out. The original plan was for tourism to take half of the building or the room that Rodney currently occupies, and that was that. So it was a little bit of a shock to find out that they had moved over there. And I know that in your post, Jeff, you mentioned the concern about asbestos and lead paint. So I don't know, Rodney, that was something you came up with apparently. So if that is a concern, I kind of wish we had known about that. I mean, that building's been there since 1932. So surely if that is an issue, we need to know about that and have it checked. I'm of the understanding that lead paint is really not a problem unless you're chewing on it, and our walls are covered with paneling over there.
Asbestos is the same when it's been painted over.
The asbestos, if there is any, I mean, the roof has been replaced, so I'm sure it's not there. It could be tiles on the floor, which are covered with carpeting, but there again, if we don't mess with it, it's my understanding it's not a problem. So having said that, the tourism really wishes to proceed with their work over there unless you have more of an issue with that. I was just concerned in your post that, not about me, but more about the statements were so focused on what you wanted to do and what your intentions were. And I appreciate the fact that you have intentions, but I really think when we come to using something like that, that needs to be a group plan. And we
did have a plan that night. And Cody put me in charge of talking to Adam, and the plan was to move him over to the medical building. He had called you because he needed the front office or something. I have no idea how that happened. But he said that they talked to you.
I got a call from Randy with a concern about the internet and said that they were going to put the electric guys and water guys by each other for internet. And I said, okay,
Yeah.
sounds good. Now, to my gross negligence, I didn't know that that meant they were gonna move up to the very front and see what's happened.
I didn't know.
I thought from day one, and they're all not here, is that we were occupying the blue carpet area. That's what I call it. Where there's a side man door, there's a blue carpet area, and then just to the north of that is kind of the warehouse area. I thought that's where we were. I didn't know that there was any employees at all whatsoever on like the front office part.
And I didn't.
Andy and I had a conversation a couple months ago where they were up there, and I asked if he would move back to the blue carpet area, and I was under the impression that that's what happened. Now, when Randy called me to ask about moving to get access to a router, I didn't know that meant changing everything up and moving up to the nice new finished part of the office. I don't think that that needs to be occupied by our guys right now. I think we need to try to figure out what to do with that space.
I would like to, and again, Jeff, I think you're on the Public Works Committee, and I think I am as well. I really think that, Kevin is, he's on property management. It's you.
Oh, okay.
It's you.
Well,
So I think it would behoove us to look at that building more carefully and decide, is that what we want? What is the long-term plan? And bring that to the council and then let us
Absolutely.
all decide. Are we moving all of Public Works over there? Do we want them in the back? Jerry's been doing, and his henchmen have been doing a great job cleaning and repairing some issues farther to the front. It's looking really good, but I was not here when that building was gifted to the city. In your post, you mentioned that it was gifted as an administrative thing, and I'm not really sure that's Public Works qualifies as administrative, and it's a huge building, it has a lot of potential. I don't know what should be done with it, but
It wasn't given to the city to profit from for rent.
Well, and that's a whole other issue. I'm just going on what you
Yeah.
had posted. So I really would like to see us come up with some sort of a concrete plan and stay on track with that plan. And I really don't care. If you want them in the front, then they're in the front. One of them said you want us to move, and absolutely not. I don't have the authority to say that. But I think we need to come together and come up with some sort of
Cody?
plan. There's too many chiefs, not enough.
As Debbie said, that Jeff and I have been on the council a long time. Jeff and I know that we cannot give nobody permission to move into the public works. I had no idea that the electric department all moved into the front office until I went in there one day. So I did not give nobody permission. After they were there, they talked to me a little bit. They said, "You fine?" I said, "Yeah, I'm fine." Because they said that mentioned you. I said, "I'm fine with it because you run the daily operations. You're the boss.
Right.
Whatever you say goes."
Oh, yeah, but I still like to run things through the council.
So I want Debbie to know. I did not know none of them did.
I'm not, I'm just responding.
We know what happened.
We all agree that we need to come up with a plan.
Yes,
Yeah.
and again, my apologies, Jeff.
And on
I
that,
apologize to you.
can we have a short conversation about, do we need to get somebody to inspect this building?
I think Rodney's.
Well, first of all,
Because we could solicit bids to have
First of all,
somebody.
I didn't know my conversation with him was going to be posted on Facebook when I said that. And it was this conversation between me and him, and that's all it is. When you mentioned that, I looked on Facebook during the conversation. I mentioned to him this per city of the EOC director and to an alderman. That was it. And what I was going to do is I was going to bring up the problem, which is at hand. But nothing hasn't been moved. There has been some of the paneling that has been glued back. But I'm looking at here and I'm looking at this here and I'm like, geez, if I have a conversation with anybody and everybody, it's going to be posted on Facebook. Why?
That's important.
Well, it is important, but there should have been, if I'm gonna talk to anybody in this room, it's not gonna be posted on Facebook.
Pre-treatment has went over to the public works facility.
Yes,
Are you still occupying space over there?
I am.
And is the tourism going to occupy space there, or do we need to get the building inspected to make sure there are no issues? And I'm asking the council. Do we need to make a motion to have the building?
Kim would like to occupy the space where, Adam was at.
Okay.
It's much bigger, it won't interfere with riding, and,
So do you have a problem with her using it at this point?
I don't have a problem with I can't tell her to go use it after Rodney told me that. We have to make that decision.
Yes, please.
So,
I hate to say this, but since we've had a city official say something about there being asbestos, I think you have to go ahead and have an inspection
I think we should.
to determine whether or not there's a problem, so that we at least have something that covers the bases of, if we believe there's a problem, we didn't check it out, and it turns out there's a problem, we got a real problem. If we have a suspicion and we haven't checked it out, I think we have a real problem.
Totally agree. Can we contact a local agency to do that, or do we need to solicit bids for 2 weeks to have somebody come in to do this?
I would suggest that you find somebody to get in there and do an inspection as soon as possible. I would consider this an emergency.
So we can contract someone such as Serpro or any other entity that would be able to perform a walkthrough and determine if the building is safe for us to inhabit. If they determine that it is, then we can get Rodney and the tourism board in there. If they say this thing's off limits because it's a health hazard, well, we'll cross that bridge when we get there, I guess. But as our attorney advised, it's been brought up, we should probably pursue it now at this point.
And if an employee tells me that, we have to pursue it.
So we'll get that ordered and conducted, and that report provided to this council, and then we'll make our move from there on what we do with the building.
Sounds good.
And I guess that will also include what we do with the DAV, because I don't think we've found a solution for the DAV. Remember the gentleman with the Disabled American Veterans said, hey, I would like a little bit of office space. Nothing much, desk and file cabinet. In the event we find that this building is usable, or any other building in town, Lance, what are your thoughts on providing office space to something such as that as a nonprofit? Is that okay? Is that not okay? I mean,
I think you can have a not-for-profit occupying vacant spaces. That's not an issue.
All right, throw it back to you, Debbie.
I am more than done.
Okay, Dave. Pass. Curtis.
I'm done. Go ahead.
Mr. Baptist.
I just have one question here. The overtime is on the concern list. Is there any possible way that employees can accrue more than 1 week of comp time?
I'm not 100% familiar with all of those policies yet.
That would say the ones that would take more
I
than
think
1
that
week.
would require a change in ordinance, correct? Is that
Sure,
an
it
ordinance
states
or?
currently.
I would have to see what our handbook says, if it's a definite or.
We can look into that possibility.
Yeah, that would cut down on some of the payout for overtime.
Yeah, and I think we need to determine what is, what's overtime and what's not, or if we need our guys to, and I'm not saying they're doing anything wrong by any means, so don't take it that way, but if the job can wait till the next day, we need our supervisors to make that determination. Or, like I spoke with some employees, if you know you had to work all night, don't come to work the next day if you don't have to. Try to keep your hours to 40. A gentleman from one of our departments had to work 8 hours on Saturday. Sometimes that happens. If you can take off on a Tuesday, then take off on a Tuesday. We need to be cognizant as supervisors of our departments and our overtime, because like I said earlier, we have blown our budget way out of the water in overtime. We do remember, council, we did approve the 2-hour call-out thing for all departments, right? If it's an emergency and you get called out and you're at home and you're having dinner, we understand the frustration and we do provide the 2-hour minimum. But we also need to keep it limited to only the personnel that's needed, and unscheduled call-outs. I don't want to speak for the water crew because they're not here right now. The committee may know, but whenever we read wells, I'm not sure how long that takes. I think they're doing a 2-hour minimum on that. But maybe we need to look at, well, that's not really a call-out, that's scheduled time. You know, and again, we've got to figure out how to put a lid on it because it's simply, we're hemorrhaging money on overtime.
Call-outs would be 911 calls you out. That's an emergency.
Right, yeah, we've got to figure something out. I may have Lainey reach out to the supervisors and have them contact me about overtime, so at least I can discuss it with them and begin to try to see if there's another way we can do it. Or hey, could you maybe take off tomorrow if you got to work tonight, just so we can work together to try to limit this overtime expense. And also look at the comp situation.
Possibility we could do that, that would cut down on some of it. Check into that, maybe. That's all I have.
Very good. Motion to adjourn this meeting.
No.
Man, I tried.
So 2023 fall cleanup. I just need approval to go forward with that. It's October 30th through November 4th, 9 a.m. to 3 o'clock. And I did check with Missy on the times and the dates. She said it's all good. We do it every year. I just need her approval.
Motion to approve.
Second. Motion by Bass, second by Holt to approve the fall cleanup.
Is that where the large item drop off would be?
You take it over to the animal control.
The dumpster provided animal control Monday through Saturday from the hours of 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Motion
to adjourn.
One more time. One more time.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, Queen Lake, but, you guys mind moving me last year? I was with the rally committee, my name is Tim Beaver. And, I'll come to you guys and, give you an update of what's gonna happen. I've been in contact with the rally, and, they are completely switching things up this year. They're not going to Potosi whatsoever. They're going to Texas County and Licking and Houston, which means that Potosi has a rally of their very own in the fall. And so this is something that as Franklin County could have, we kind of messed up. So this is why I'm coming to you guys. As I spoke about it last time I was here, the rally needs another venue. They're looking for a Thursday night, Thursday afternoon, evening for the national people, the professionals, the big people, you know, and they think Cuba is a wonderful place. They love next to the railroad tracks, the big parking lot where you have the car shows. They love the Hood Park. I talked to Mr. Post, and he's indicated that you guys have done a wonderful job of improving the Hood Park. And so what, I just need some kind of endorsement from you guys that this is something that's on your radar. It's been going on for 20 years, so naturally the 5,000 people in Potosi or Salem, it doesn't happen overnight. But I anticipate if we can do this, where within 3 to 5 years, we could have 5,000 to 10,000 people in Cuba.
For a car show? For a rally.
Is this the 100-acre wood you're talking about?
Yes, sir. Yeah, this is a 100-acre wood rally. It comes in.
Then the county didn't approve that, though, did they?
Correct. But we have a change of the guard there. And
Okay.
so I understand that we can't do anything without the county's approval. But I'm just putting it out, it's gonna be a couple weeks before you guys have another meeting. And I just wanted to make sure that you guys were aware of this and that with a little bit of blessing, I would like to offer Cuba as a place in 2025. It's too late to do something in 2024, this next spring, but with a year's worth of planning, we could really do something pretty amazing.
What's the dates on that?
it's March.
March.
First week in March.
Yeah, I mean, I think as far as the space over here that we normally use for car shows and using Hood Park for a car show and an event, yeah, I mean, that's what those spaces are for, that shouldn't be a problem.
It's not a car show, it's a race.
Well, I don't think we can race out there, but we can have a car show. Yeah, exactly. You know, that's what I'm saying. This, our spaces in town for a show or parking and camping or,
Right.
yeah, sure.
So it would be both, it'd be a car show,
Right.
and then it would be, rallies out on the gravel.
If you can
roads
get
or
the
something.
county to agree to it, sure.
And I'm not gonna promise, I can't promise anything.
Right.
I'm not here to be promising anything for you guys, or I can't even promise the county. You know, but I have to go to the county next, and I think with the new commissioner, or site commissioner, I think we got a chance of doing it. So.
I can't speak for any future councils that might be here at that point in time, it might be all of us, but I think everybody be open to Smith Street, Hood Park, and having a big event, that'd be great.
Right, okay. Well, thank you very much for your time, and have a good interview.
You as well, sir, thank you. Is there a motion to adjourn? Yep. Motion by House, second by Holt.